And welcome straight back into it. After having first two incendiary games, we're heading straight into the third one. My name is Bogdan Boogie Carp, and with me I've got Larson, of course. If you just tuned in, Larson is the IGL of Team Kingwin and a streamer as well. So if you want to learn, if you've learned something from Larson's little tidbits of knowledge there in the previous games, you can give this guy a follow and find out more pretty much every day, right?
Yeah.
More or
Here
less.
and there. Yeah, I've been taking down a little bit lately. Putting more effort into trying to bond with the team.
And to actually being a pro.
Yeah, actually, playing the game, trying to improve our teamwork.
Right. So there you go, guys. It's good to have an actual pro in here to give us those good informations. I'm good for the hype. I'm not saying I'm not, but some parts of here are kind of missing out a little
Are
bit.
we gonna see more than 25 kills in this round here?
That's the challenge. So here's what the first match has brought us. If you just tuned in again, we've seen 21 kills from Team Grubby, and we thought, surely that's a performance.
It was Forza who won
Sorry,
the first
from
game
Team
with
Forza.
21 kills. Yeah.
And we thought, surely that's a performance that nobody's going to be able to top. I think
thought
Grubby's
that.
second game thought, you know what, let's just throw in 2 more kills on top of that. 23 kills. So 2 more kills now would be 25. Can someone pull it off? That would be sick.
I don't think so. It's very, very rarely that you see these kind of performances.
And here, let's have a look at the standings right about now. And for the last game, Bloodbath and Beyond. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That is a
And
mistake.
look at Forza. Wait.
So that is Team Grubby that you've seen in the first place, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Bloodbath and Beyond, that was the ball break. They were out early.
They were out very early because Balrog,
Balrog was the sole survivor and he got killed off.
he got peppered in. So we're gonna be having a look at the scores in just a second. Don't worry about it, guys. We're just a tease. Saved.
But either way, we have Team Grubby coming in with 23 kills in the second game. Masarini's team, Slopey, I think
9
he was
kills?
called. Yeah, they had 9 kills. So the team's sort of staying alive. They're also,
They're
killing
doing
their
work,
way.
man.
They're making their way into the circle. They just, the passive play that we've seen some other teams do have not really been paying off.
Yeah, true.
Teams that we have seen who's been winning, who's been getting consistently high in these first 2 games have been people that have not been afraid to fight.
Yeah.
And they have fought their way in. And I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, man.
That's something that makes
For
me
us,
happy.
yeah.
Especially for me and my team. We usually, even though we don't always get a good placement, we usually tends to take a few fights and get a few kills. And
you kind of need to do that as well. It changes the way you've been playing. What we're talking about at the start of the first match, before the start of the first match, we were talking about Team Blank, or the previous Team Blank, which now has been split up in a roster. One of them went to Kingwin, 2 of them went to Team Crimson. When they started, when the PUBG scene, let's say, was at its inception, when we were kind of starting things up at that point in time, I remember casting and seeing them do all kinds of crazy, silly kind of things, just taking fights with people that they shouldn't have taken, just doing the silliest of things, just going aggro, full aggro, literally. That's the only word that you can describe. And now they're fully fledged and confident in their performance. And what they've done was so smart, because now they have the knowledge on how to dominate in the pro scene. Because it's a bit of a difference when you do matchmaking to what you do in the pro scene.
very hard to find the balance between when to play aggressive and when to play safe.
Yeah,
if you want to be more consistent.
That's it. That's always a.
I mean, you can go out with a bang every single game, but that's not gonna get you into tournaments. And as of the recent edition, after 1.0 release, we have big tournaments such as Global Loot League, and there's a lot on the line. So just playing for that one big bang, maybe in the best out of 3,
50,000.
it's not gonna cut it. So
50,000 big bangs.
they know what is on the line, and I have Gaxi on my team. He's from Lithuania. He's with that kind of money, that's enough to buy an apartment. I mean, from some other places in the world, but for them especially, it could change their life.
He can get his own hotel. I don't know if you saw that movie, Euro Travel or something. I can't remember.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
some guy gets $1. He's like, haha, I can open up my hotel. That was probably Romania, where I'm from. There you go.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know
for
exactly
this
what you
is,
mean. For some people,
it is money that could change people's lives.
For anybody, it's a lot of money.
It's true.
Literally, for anybody, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's some good money in there. That
I'm
GLL are
just saying
stepping
that
up.
with more prize pools, more on the line, you will see teams definitely take the games more serious.
Absolutely.
And they will not take as many risks
Absolutely.
as they have been doing previously.
But they have now the confidence. They did it when there was no money.
Yeah.
So now they know how to do it in the pro scene when there's money involved. So that's a pretty smart darn thing. At that time we thought, oh, this is so silly. This is, this is dumb. But they were one step ahead of us. So that's pretty smart. There you go, ladies and gents. This is how the game progressed with GLL a lot of action, and indeed the action is rewarded with plenty of points. And we will be going shortly into match number 3. I don't think, look, I'm saying, I don't think there's going to be a 25. I want to see it. Like, fingers crossed.
I'm surprised we got to see 21 and 23. Yeah. I don't think anyone is going to come close to this.
Like, let's put this into perspective, dude. This is like pretty much the only time since I've been starting casting that we've seen a over 20 kill in a top tier system. You have some leagues and competitions where a top tier team comes in and absolutely bodies everybody.
Yeah.
But in here, where pretty much all the teams are super talented,
can we put this into perspective? For example, I played a qualifier recently. Number 2 team, I think
7 frags, 9 frags.
No, number 2 team in like overall in the best out of 5. They didn't even have 25 kills or 23 kills. So teams
after 3 or 5 matches, what was it?
After 5 matches, they don't even have as many kills that they have in one game, and that is teams that are like qualifying to other tournaments.
That'll tell you some.
And yeah, it's very uncommon that you see people actually get that many kills, but it's a pleasure to watch, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
There you go. And here goes the 3rd plane, and it's a decent one at that as well.
Yeah,
we've been blessed.
Straight over the map.
We've been blessed with some good planes here tonight, Larson. This is a plane where that allows most of the teams to reach their favorite area only by dropping. Of course, some of them are going to have to go for a long drop as well. You see Balrog and Kazan disconnected. Balrog seems to have reconnected now, so he should be... Oh, man. I hope those guys have it easy at this moment in time. They did have a bit of an unfortunate previous game. Now, let's have a look at the teams going around the raw shocks. Cool puzzle blocks, inverted J's, or not inverted J's, but rather the J's, the liquid compounds, as some would call them. Taking all those cars, that's the reason why they're going so in that area, because you got a lot of car spawns there, right?
Oh yeah, but that was actually the old liquid lineup. You might have heard about the new one, but I've been casting quite a few games with Big, and it was...
Do you know the new liquid lineup?
It's been announced a long time ago. But either way, Liquid doesn't do that anymore. And with Big picking up haze from the old Liquid lineup, they actually do this now, where they land around these compounds here and picks up the cars. But what I've noticed is Method, all 3 games have been in Pachinki. Grubsy, they're back down to... Grubsy is back down to Primosk. And TSM, they're back in... Georgia Bowl. Crimson, also... landing in Jasnaya. I believe they've done that in every single game.
Would you feast your eyes on that little beauty there on the map?
I've casted too many games today, and all the circles have been at the edge of the map near the water.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, after this, we have to mirror my games. If you look on the bright side, I've never seen a water circle in Miramar.
Always look on the bright side of life. Nobody going to the military island. We got to point this out. In 3 matches, I don't think I've seen one team going to the military island. Okay, so
there have been there was people at the Novo, but they just
no one went
at
to
military base.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, no one actually went to mil base so far. That's pretty cool. That shows you that the delay that we're using now is efficient.
Yeah.
Teams are not checking out the stream.
One other thing I would like to add to this, because we have had game 1 and game 2, and people haven't opted to go that much to the water, because you're thinking, oh, we had 1 bad game, we still have 4 games to come back. But this is the 3rd game, and some people might be really far behind on points, and they're going to start feeling the sweat. So I'm afraid of it, but I think we might see more people opting to go towards the water. It's
could be an option.
Say, but
could be an option.
Like
why not?
The further you go into the rounds, the more like if you're behind, you know you don't you don't feel
that's
the like you don't want to fight that much. You kind of just want to try and stay alive sometimes.
That's the thing.
And I'm afraid if this goes a little bit more to the water, we can see a lot of people opting to go for the water, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I've played this circle many times, and it doesn't really go to the water.
What's your favorite so far? I think for me, Observatory would be a good spot to go. Just west of Gaka. Southwest of Gaka.
So all these spots are kind of relative to where you land. I mean, if we talk about TSM here and left now, Georgia Bowl, they can't really drive down to Observatory, and they would have to settle with something closer, right? So
how is a team like specifically like TSM going to play this one? Because they have so many squads.
I saw, as we say, this said a second shot of the study. But what they did in the last time around this circle, with the same city,
they went around.
They actually went for the water and swam to South Georgia Bowl. And then they ran through South Georgia Bowl and just played it on foot. So they opted to go for the water and they swam over.
That's a disadvantage of landing North George.
I don't know if they're going to do it again. But that's what they did the last time around.
That's the disadvantage of landing North George.
So
that you're not
you can do what Dropsy never did, is take a boat and get to the beach.
Yeah, true. You can do that as well. That's the disadvantage of landing North George. You're not going to have too many vehicles in that area. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a doozy, so to speak. We'll see how it pans out later on. In the meantime, some shots being taken here by Rorschach. None of them connect, so everything is good. Everything is dandy. We'll just kind of,
But you look at this. Look
hold
at
our
Rafi.
ankles.
I think it's Rafi. Yeah, look at Rafi. He's not in a good spot.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, he's not. Okay, so he's by the combat, very, very west.
He was very
on
low
the map.
HP. Yes. Oh, Fike is here. I didn't see Fike.
Okay, there you go. Fake.
Fake. Fake.
Fake.
Okay.
We're getting close to getting ready to mature. Rafi steps in, AK close range, sees his enemy go up the stairs, but little does he know that he's got to be wrapping around to his back. Crouch walking here can be potentially very devastating as Rafi doesn't have 80 kind of helmet. He's got a level 2 armor, sure, but his enemy has an AK. One shot to the head. Do him good. Mats takes damage instead. Fake is going to be going in for the push, and he actually gets the frag as well. Beautiful performance out of Fake. Taking one of the STL members down. Forex not going to have an easy task now, but he's going to have the support of his teammate coming around. It looks like Lifte will be sneaking his way on the other ridge just to help him out a little bit. Is it necessary at this point in time to help out your teammate, or should you just rather, I don't know, go splashy splash, put your swimming suits on and just try and play for placement?
So the thing is here, they have been playing very greedy, right? They have one guy at the compound just to the southwest of them, and they were all very split at the compound, and they weren't really helping each other. So you can always like try to argue or discuss: can we play split? Can we not play split? Some of the decision that goes through my head when I play split is: can you defend the compound with just 2 people? And some of these places where here are now,
Yeah, some of the compounds. Yeah,
if you look at where the STL members are, they haven't been choosing like good compounds. And if they get breached by a full method team here, they'll probably
they won't.
punished.
They won't. They spotted one another. And look at the AC. He knows that STL is hidden away from that compound there, so they would potentially take it themselves. He has to get back in his vehicle, taking some damage there. Not a lot of fuel left, but he's got enough fuel to make it into safety. They have a very powerful little mountain to play with here as well, so they could potentially go for it. But looks like Andy left him, so AT will have a very difficult time crossing by STL. Let's see if he makes it through. Again, this guy has lost some life. He seems to be around 70% of his HP. It looks like he will connect with Andy. Getting a second chance at life, and they have a shack to work with here. But the shack is pretty exposed.
This is not where you want to be.
Nope.
I've been at that spot before, and the later the circle goes, people are going to be on the hill where you saw.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're going to be in the swamp, and they're going to be at the compound where STL rotated to, and they're opting to move away. And I actually think I specifically played that shot with Leighton, and it wasn't pretty, so
Yeah,
he knows that they should opt to get away from there. Just the later the game goes, the worse it progressively gets. So I'm happy that they chose to go away from there.
Yeah, there you go. They're just trying to find it. As they do, Jula does the same. Jula with a sliver of life left. Krimizord won't be able to close the frag down, but now he's approaching the King, who's also making a cross with his vehicle here. Let's see if Krimizord decides to take any fight there. No, they're going to be a safe distance from one another. Rez will attempt something there, but no shots connect. A lot of teams close to the center of the current white, and you can see TSM this time around. They have some vehicles. They're going to be making their way to what we call the Death Bridge, but because the Death Bridge is not in the circle, it's not going to be populated. So happy days for TSM.
They're actually rotating a lot earlier than they used to. The TSM I'm used to watching, they probably wait a few more circles before rotating in.
And we've been waiting as well. We've been waiting for the updated leaderboards. Let's have a look at them right now while the circle strangles. There's not any fights happening on the map. So let's have a look and see the teams that have made it for the past one. There you go, Grubby, first place. Five points shy of getting 2 chicken dinners with 1 match, just because they had 23 frags. Holy smokes. King Safnovska almost 200 points away, 190 points away from them in second place with 9 frags. As you can see, they Victus on the 3rd spot with 3 of their own on that open position. Katana team also getting bodied by Pajama. I love this guy, man. I absolutely adore the way he peppered those nades in. It was just sick.
And if we look towards Grubsy and Method, they're actually close to each other. They don't need to fight, and if I was Grubby, I wouldn't push them, but with that confidence they have from last game, they know they're going to have a huge lead, and they might take unnecessary risk here. I mean, they have a little bit of freedom to do, and they're probably riding on confidence, but
yeah, anything could happen.
Anything could happen. They might see, oh, there's a team here. We did so good last game.
three teams driving close to one another. Okay, Azrain doesn't necessarily look at the road. Perhaps having to look at the map instead. Oh, that's a full lineup in one vehicle. He's going to be taking shots at Azrain now. That's a good pepper. That is a good pepper spray. And Azrain will quickly go away from that fight. Now this might tell Jula, this might flag Jula, which is in the front from a different squad, that they could potentially stop there. No, this is not happening. No, 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 no.
They're not
And they
nowhere near the
saved it.
circle.
There we go. They are not
Yeah,
anywhere near the
I'm
circle. If they would have
happy.
banked that car, it would have been absolutely decimating for them. Now look at Gatka Fields. Nobody actually took anything to Gatka, not even the yellow. But because it's not in the center, because teams have rotated early, they rather went for the center of this current white. Team Grubby. Is it Team Grubby? Yes,
It is Team Grubby.
Finding
This
a
is
spot on
something
the
we've
hills.
seen a lot actually from Masabini. He's been driving far ahead of his team, trying to secure a spot. We saw him in the first game driving on a 3-seater bike, way ahead, wasn't successful. This time around, he's been taking a lot of damage, and
That's been working out.
he's
working
slowly but surely finding a place for the rest of his team to come in from.
A lot of teams making their way inside the safety of the circle right now. Crimson, one of them. TSM already make their way in, and they're close to one of the members from Bloodbath and beyond. Gadiala just north of them by the mountainside, and I think he's soon going to be spotted by TSM. If not, he will definitely spot them. Shots at someone else. It's a Russian squad. He got some bullets for. Core will eat up a few, but he's not going to go down. So all in all, it's quite safe for them. But Gadiala coming in close here. This game spots him, takes him down. Rory will not die here. Now look at Rory actually going behind that tree. He thinks that there could be more players from Bloodbath and beyond. When, in fairness, it was just Gadiala. Gadiala, Finnish player. That's how you're supposed to pronounce his name. You gotta put everything in Finland has to be like heavy. Gadiala.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They speak with passion, and
They do.
yeah, we're blessed by the Arabs today. Surely.
Oh man, this is really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. In PR, the meantime, there takes a fight. Kazan's going to be falling down. We'll have a look at him later on here. Vicious the King trying to put some shots against a vehicle far away. It does look like the res might happen from this, indeed. Yeah, indeed, he has res Rory. So that's very good for TSM coming in right now. But they don't have the circle. Look at that one. So far away from him. As far as could be. Not a lot of teams have any kind of real estate right now. So they're going to be making their way in. And as they make their way in, they're going to get absolutely peppered. Some good shots coming from Lockwood as well. Jambawe steps ahead. But it looks like they've lost Pybus along the way.
Hypers got run over, but he's going to be able to be picked up here.
There you go. It's fortunate. Pybus, one of the members that we were talking about earlier on in the previous team, Blank.
I mean, Hypers and
Very
MBS, I
talented.
believe, have been in there.
MBS, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, yeah. Alongside your favorite there. Ooh, WTC takes some shots. There's the King there. He's going to be driving through. As he drives through, he's going to have to actually get out of the UAZ. It is not necessarily the safest one to drive. Vicious the King, if you would just stop by. No, actually,
No,
what?
VTCN knocked out a guy from the team, and that was the US.
He got the knockout.
Yeah, he knocked out, I think it was Ducha. He got finished up, then the US went out driving.
Oh, right. There you go. Goes too easy. Doesn't happen to me. That's why it's good to have you in here, man. I lose it sometimes. I lose the plot sometimes. I get too excited. That's the thing. I'm like a little puppy. When I see these pros at play, it just makes me so happy that I kind of like, oh, what's going on? Mind Nerd with the Scar, no sight. This is my least favorite weapon to play without sights.
It is very
Brutal.
difficult to use, and I'm not a big fan of the GLL.
Yeah.
Boogie agrees with me, but the GLL,
I know you're not.
I've changed a little bit as of late because you can't get an M4 every game.
That's the thing, yeah. You
But
kinda
the
have to
GLL,
work.
GLL used to be really good, but it's just not as good as everything else.
Woken taking a shot. Couldn't as well. Getting a bit dinked out. Talk about the Scarlet in a second. Right now they've grouped up with their team. All right, let's get back to the discussion. So, tell me, it's still a reliable platform. Tits of Destiny still in the game, just to remind you.
Do you think they've been squeezing? Oh, okay. So no, the Scar is.
They squeezed their way into the
Scar
white.
is not as bad as bad as I'm trying to make it, but with the
Yeah.
Iron Sight, it's actually terrible.
It's brutal.
It's terrible with Iron Sight.
Absolutely.
The gun is just not as good as an M4, but should all guns be as good as the M4?
That's the thing.
Should the M4 be as good? I mean,
Yeah, it's if you don't offer any kind of difference, then what's the point of actually looting for a different AR if all of them are so close to one another, right?
okay, makes sense. That's a fair point.
Yeah. And especially at the high level of competitive, when you know that teams are going to be going to high risk, high risk places, but they're going to have it to themselves, then you know that they should come out with some decent loot. So the RNG there kind of dies down with that fact. The Bulldog trying to bull his way through, gonna get pretty much all of his tires almost blown up, and he blows up himself as well by Kunasan. And he's a sad man for it. Sticking around in his little buggy, dying down to what seemed to be a very brutal death. Rip GG.
You have to think about your pathing, and when you're driving in a buggy, you should probably think about not trying to go straight through the center of the circle. If you go between all these high volume places where it's popular to play from, and you drive in a buggy, you're bound to be killed. Sometimes you just have to settle with not going for the best position and just slowly make your way on foot.
True.
I don't know if he was alone. I couldn't tell you, but either way he goes down. But if you just try to crawl in, play a little bit more like with the zone. You saw Andy Byro. His team died very early in the first match, and he's managed to get top 5. We're just laying low, following the zone. And that is something we see a lot from people.
From top tier people.
Yeah, you can't just drive through and hope for the best.
Let's see who's going to be the Shrek here, though, because the Swamps are under siege. Zetaris has a very powerful weapon to breach him with.
But does he know they're there?
Takes the shot with 18. But it looks like Zetaris is going to be falling. He's going to be falling down, and Bondas will finish off the frag. Indeed, on his teammate steps in. What? His teammate, Bjorn, heated the moment. He actually goes in aggressive. And he's going to have 3 people to face. Not an easy task by all means and purposes. And it doesn't look like he can make his way outside. Door open. Sakos will get out and might just come wrap around, but that would be good for Bjorn, actually. That would be fantastic for him, as he does indeed find the knockout. But now he's less than half HP. And it's the time for Bondas and Sola to try and make a play for it. Bjorn is going to be stepping away. That's smart. That's why he stuck around. He got the first knockout, and now he can wrap around the house and get the crap out of there.
The next circle updated, and
let's have a look.
I mean, we see the map. They have to move relatively far.
Yeah.
Not really, but
there is when you consider
they have to leave the swamp and go into the next set of swamps.
When you consider almost 60 alive, it is far.
It is very far, and it's very hard to move.
Oh.
In these kind of games, you're definitely right there.
Tits of Destiny don't have the Destiny to their side.
So who has been really fortunate with these circles is Method and
Grubby, yeah.
They have been gifted the last 2 circles. This, by all means, doesn't win your game. You can still be pushed out of your compound and move very far.
Oh! Bjorn finally getting knocked out by Solar Ogre. Solar Ogre. Oh, look at that Solar Ogre. Ogre. There you go. He's the Shrek. Obviously, he was the Shrek all along.
You complimented Bjorn for falling back, but still he decides to turn around and take the 1v3 fight.
Yeah.
I assume it's Balrock who might still be alive, but I think there's still one left from one alive from Raptor. Yeah, as we see. Take it away, Google.
Here we go. Force making their push, and TSM are going to die down to it. That nade reigning supreme. Good catch there, Ansvar. Holy smokes, CSM went up in flames.
Our game 1 winners.
That was a quick one.
Strong. Yeah, they got the double kill with the nade, and then after that, it was.
Oh, they're the first one to be eliminated. No, wait, they are the first one to be eliminated. Bjorn did have a teammate. There is someone still alive for Bloodbath. That's unfortunate, but still, it's a best of 5. Plenty of time to come around and make your plays later on. London out.
You also have to keep in mind that TSM is playing with a sub tonight. They're playing with Rory. They're usually playing with Smack. Even playing with one different player.
Do you know why, or
I think
do you have any insight?
I talked with Marius, and Smack was moving, and there's some real life stuff. It's nothing permanent. I think he's just occupied in real life. Of course, you know what I mean.
The boys get along very nice.
So, but
I kind of like that about them.
Even no matter what, right? When you're playing with one sub, it's a huge difference. It's it's actually you don't normally think about it, but it makes a great distance.
The communication becomes a bit more sluggish because
for
you
example,
have to
I can take
more.
my team as an example.
It's not the same
when
synergy.
I take 2 days off and come to Global Loot League, they don't even want to practice. There's no point in practicing with one extra guy. It's just not the same, and it's maybe showing off that they're missing Smack.
Yeah, it could be indeed. We all miss Smack. Give us those Smacks. No chance of break indeed. Insigas in the meantime comes in with the frag there. Solar Ogre has been knocked out, but Insigas and Bondas will still be trucking Solar beyond the point of getting risk. Chronic's putting shots into him. That will put some fear of God into Bondas. And Insigas, I don't know if they're going to have a chance at this. In the meantime, SDL will make friends what seems to be the least likely people, enemies close to their compound. And does SDL know about this? They're not holding the angles necessarily. 4X is, no, actually 4X is holding the angles. They should know there's someone super close to them. Especially now. They do indeed. 4X takes the shots. They don't really connect. There's a nade prepped up, but I don't think that one's going to connect either. There's more a defensive nade coming in from Lifted Kid. And now, this might go into a stalemate, this fight right here. Or it might end up with SDL running away. That would be the smart play, right?
I mean, SL already ran away once from, I think it was Team TPA, up by that barn and the, what I call a hostel, the one with the two big white balconies. So we might see SL up to run away again since the circle have shifted. But where did they run to here?
Straight into immunity, pretty much.
Yeah, like before they had a teammate, you know, cut off to the side, and they told him to come to this compound, but they don't have that option anymore.
Jojo could force a wide rotate from the west side, go a bit south, and then penetrate from the western end. It's still not going to be easy, though.
He could also scout a safe spot in the circle or say, hey, guys, this is clear. You can go there.
Absolutely.
I really like how Method is playing this. If you box yourself into the compound, they can easily get snuck on. But since Lethard and Leighton IT is pushed up on the hill, they don't just give up though for free, right? And if the team comes to stop, they can always fall back. But for now, they're doing intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
So they're kind of scaring people away as they're trying to rotate in, and that is gonna mean a lot for them progressing later into this game. And two people can actually, like, if you shoot enough at enough vehicles, nobody really wants to come join you.
Yeah. For some reason.
No, I mean, against pro teams, if you drive towards a team, you're gonna die.
Oh, here's a bad spot for Rafi. He's close to him. Fake is close to him, and he's going to be attempting to take the shot, but it doesn't really work out. Their advantage, Azrain takes him down. And it does look like Rafi's going to have to stick around to where he is. No chance to get out from his current position. That's a bit of a doozy. That's a bit of a doozy indeed. Who's that close to? Up. Find out in a second. In the meantime, Rafi pulls out a smoke, but it doesn't really work out. Bullseye. It's true to his name, pretty much. Gets him with the mini. That's unfortunate.
Bullseye is also... No, he's actually not on Cantana. He's up with Shaman and Anok and Force. I mean, it's beautiful names, but Force, they're back after the first game. They want to have more revenge. They're thirsty for blood.
Oh, yeah.
And they're fighting their way through the circle. A mistake they didn't do in the last game.
Here comes MBS with some shots against Xeon. Not quick scopes as it may seem, but it's just the fence that made it look like that. Xeon gets knocked out by Shade in the meantime. Xeon, a very proficient player and a well-known personality in the Turkish community, I believe. So there you go.
Grubsy is on fire. They're not letting anyone go through.
True. Team Grubby will be holding on to the spot. Middleba will have a chance at life, lest he pushes straight where Grubby is, and it looks like that might be the case. Middleba might have heard some shots. He will do best to avoid that confrontation. This is, of course, the team that currently has the top spot in the total number of kills. Team Grubby. What an absolute beast. I'm talking about beasting around. Muri does not get.
Muri's alone, though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And now he's getting reached in. One nade would do the trick. And you can see Muke already pulling it out. Nade indeed does rain in. Or does it? It didn't make it. Oh, there you go. Second one will fall in there as well. And as soon as he gets out, he's going to get absolutely bodied. So he knew this. He knew that either way he would have been dead. He just decided to, you know what, take the easy way out. Yeah, why not?
Pretty greedy to split up so far from his team. Maybe they got separated earlier and he didn't know how to connect back with his team. But
where's Redwood? Oh, look at the little snake in the grass. I got a snake in my boot. Redwood's still alive. Grubby has been around him for so long.
Red Bull is from the walls, right? Oh, no.
Which one?
Redwood? Who is he playing with? Oh, Redwood. Sorry.
Redwood?
Yeah.
Oh, Redwood. Who? What team? Oh, sure. Of course, it is Team Wolves.
He is with Team Wolves. So
he's a lonely wolf
the
right
last man standing.
He's a lone wolf.
And this is what I mean. When you're alone, you have to take these kind of go prone and hope that the enemies don't see you.
That's it.
And
That's the
you
only
can
thing
see
to
how
do.
close he is to the circle. So what he's hoping for here is that Grubsy will take a fight, and that's his chance to sneak in and get up behind them.
And he can also use them as cover for the next circle. So you can just try and stay behind them as they clear a path for him. It would be excellent. But they decide to move out. One will be taking the UAZ, trying to scout out something there. Pokemala Doi. Wow, he's got a car as well. Okay, so Shade is going to be on his foot. Redwood gets a second chance at life, and you can bet yourself that he's not going to be going for the kills, or shouldn't be going for the kills for now. He does seem like he is rest. Oh, let's see another fight here. Shamanana coming in. But it's Moment against the frag. Moman takes Azrain down. No, actually, in the houses, it's been Chronix has been knocked out. Nice little gap there for Shamanana, but it doesn't offer him the chance to finish off the kill. Just barely misses on that chance. Spots the end of the barrel of one of his enemies. Now we'll give up the fight. This is not somewhere where you want to be for long. It's a pretty open area. And the circle is drawing close.
I mean, it's actually very viable in these current circle settings that you run in with the blue. You'll be shot from behind, but they're running into Team 6 here. Luckily for them, they have 4 alive, I believe, and Team 6 only have 2. But a lot of teams are clashing into each other here.
Yeah,
Cypec and Pudge are getting pushed by essentially 8 people.
Yeah, Victus Esports are not going to have an easy task here trying to defend their little shack, and they don't seem to go aggressive either, so that means that Force can push on them quite close.
But it's not only Force coming in here.
True. There's 2 squads pretty much close to one another. Team 7 and Team 14. Force decides to go for a side peek here. And it looks like Pudge is going to be taking some damage from Team Method, rather, from the safety of their compounds. So Force, in the meantime, made their way through the swamps, and they could push forward here, but Sipik might have the angle on him. Playing this one safe. He's barely inside. Method now playing on the outskirts of their current compound. Trying to make sure that nobody comes in anywhere close to them. And that's a smart call. Shots coming from Andy. Not necessarily connecting in the meantime. Pokemon comes in with a frag against Pybus. And the zone took MBS down. Lockwood seems to have died down as well. There's just one guy left for Crimson. It looks like here. Sipik reses from where he was. Or rises, rather. But they've got him pinned down as soon as he peeks out. He should be dead, but he's not. Pudge, in the meantime, comes with the play. Finally, Sipik goes down, but still, Pudge still alive in his shack. That's a really good double play coming in here from Victus.
Definitely. Shaman Nanonok surviving with just 1 HP.
And that's the case again. Again, surviving with 1 HP, but now he's in the safety.
Actually managed to stay alive through all this. Force has 1 teammate team member alive, right?
Yeah.
And
oh, do they?
And yeah. Oh, now they have 2.
They have
2 now. Yeah, Shaman Nanonok is with Force.
Shamanamana. Shamanamana. Sipik goes down. Pudge didn't deny the kill, but he's still holding on to the angle there. Made XM4 quite
Look at Method. They're gonna be happy about this.
They're super happy. Absolutely.
They might. I don't want to overspeak, but look at where they are in the circle now. They might be trying to cover too much ground.
They might be trying to get their hands on Tits of Destiny, because squad number 7 seems to be moving towards them.
But I just see them at the center of a super tiny circle.
Look, it's the name of the squad, man. What can I do?
But I'm just talking about Method here. Team 19, as you see at the center of the screen.
Yeah.
They might be trying to take on too many teams at the same time. There's 21 people alive, and that circle diameter is like 500, 600 meters at most.
True.
It's very tough to just try to take the entire center. Maybe they should, concentrate on keeping one side clear, instead of trying to keep all the sides clear, because I don't think they can kill 21 people walking in towards them.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So
the closest one to
them. They're teaming up now. They're actually doing exactly what I say.
Oh, there you go. Actually, team number 7, the Tits might go aggressive here. Indeed, they do. Oh, they wanted to go inside the roundy bit so hard, which is the white, but they don't really get a chance at that. Kone. Last one stay alive for the Tits, but he does get a lucky shot against Diaz. That's going to be 4's eliminated. Could potentially res his teammate, but they're by the edge of the blue there. Method know exactly where they are, so they're going to be holding out to the angle there. In the meantime, Imagine takes someone else from SDL. That means that Leighton has an easy shot. He's not going to be coming in with the frag himself, but he will steal the frag if he can make it so. SDL still alive, still running around freely. Leighton runs out of bullets, has to swap for the AK, but Andy does the dirty deed, takes Kuna down. Andy putting his hands on them Tits of Destiny, making sure that they're no longer in there. There you go. Andy Pyre, another successful streamer on Insane Rifler from Team Method. Just to point it out there if you guys didn't know. Very sick place coming out of him normally. Definitely recommended on Papa's list of recommendations. Alongside of you, Larson. Not a lot of teams left alive. Let's get back into the game.
I see we have Method, Dropsy, 1 from Team Crimson.
Wait. What?
What?
Who is that? 16. Team number 16.
Late
The
by.
shot counts. Oh, there's Grubby versus Method. And Grubby comes in with the nades. Snoopy tries to repeat the performance of his teammate Pajama from the last game. There's the nade connect. But Pokemon comes in with the frag. Refrag comes in with AZ. Snoopy will go a bit aggressive there. Leighton bleeding super fast. That means that there is not going to be a chance for a res. Method now have to play this one passive as Grubby is just on the other side. And there's someone else. Who is that from the third team? Team number 16.
That is, well, we have Pipers
Where
and
is that
Blade
guy?
Buyer. That's the 2 solos.
Oh, look at that Blade Buyer.
Blade Buyer, yeah.
He's just going to have to wait this one out. Pajama takes a shy look, but it doesn't really connect with anything. Leighton has been rezzed. Last second res from 80. That's a clutch situation, if anything. Surely Blade cannot do more than 2, and that it is indeed true. With Pajama out of the way, this gives Method a chance at the win. And they know this as well. 2 teams, or still rather 3 teams left alive.
Depends how much damage the last Crimson member can do to Method here.
I'll have to find out and see here as Method trying to go for the side flank here. Looks like Grubby have a decent chunk for the white. They repositioned themselves, and that's quite a powerful thing to do. Leighton now pushing. If you look at the left side of the screen, he's coming close to Grubby, but his teammates are close to him as well. Playing as one, trying to keep themselves alive. And they spot one of them on the back foot there. Shade takes the shot. Close to connecting, and that's a perfect time for Leighton to step in. But Pokemon takes both of them down. Andy and Leighton have been knocked out, so the last 2 remaining members of Method are going to have to come into a very difficult fight here. That nade does not eliminate anybody as Pokemon peeks in. He thinks that a res might be happening, but it's not. Oh, Andy's just behind the safety of the cover. No chance to get a res, though. No chance to get a res. Easy frags for Pokemon as he steps in. Here comes 80. Here comes Turtle as well. Turtle with the VSS on the left side of the screen.
I saw Leighton drop his M16 because he had no more ammo left. Do you think this is a desperation play?
I think so. Method didn't necessarily have the best loot. They went for an early rotate, if you remember. They
always rotate very early.
That was a call that they had to make. We'll see how it pans out. In the meantime, Shade put some shots down. They will connect beautifully, but with the circle strangling, it doesn't look like Turtle is going to have an easy task, especially with AT being knocked out. And there's still one left from Crimson Esports. That's Jambawe trying to play this one out. Turtle has been eliminated. That's it. That's Method taking out Jambawe now. The last one staying alive, trying to snake his way inside the blue, but he cannot really do that. He has to walk. He has to run. And Pokemon knows exactly where he is. Though Jambawe comes in with a frag. I'm not too sure it's going to be more than that. Shade finishes it all up. And there's another fantastic performance out of Team Grubby coming in with how many frags is there?
16.
Boom. Quick maths. Out of Larson. 16 frags. Nonetheless, still an amazing performance. Still really, really good.
They've shown up today. They're ready to play this one out. That's an amazing performance.
They didn't come to play, my friend. They came to win.
They did have good circles, but like I said, when Grubby has to take a good place in the circle, they're not afraid to fight for it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And that shows you the proficiency of playing together. A very, very powerful effect. And also knowing when to take the fights. Larson was talking about this just earlier on. Knowing when to be aggressive and when to be defensive can be the difference between chicken dinner and bad placements. So there you go. Grubby, not only do they have the necessary skill, the sheer power, the sheer mechanical skill, but they seem to have the brains as well for it.
Yeah, they're playing passive when they need to play passive, and when they should push, they're doing it. And they're doing it with style. Like,
exactly.
they won. Did they have 4 people alive in the last game? I think
they
won 2 games in a row with 4 people alive. That is a task that doesn't happen to a lot of teams.
True, that is pretty sick. And they've got TSM, they've got Crimson, they've got Method in there, right? There's all these teams, pretty much all the teams that are lined up here tonight. Really great talent. Now, here's one sad puppy, the Bulldog. Didn't make it too far. Not an ace for him. It's an ace if you consider that, 3 tires were popped out of 4. I suppose that's the only silver lining to that play. Kuna takes him out. The Tits of Destiny grabbing him this time around.
Yeah.
In a twisted turn of events, let's have a look at Forza's crazy push and their insane performance that seemed to have lasted just a second. Those nades really made the difference here, Larson.
You see the nades chew that instantly.
Absolutely. That was just vicious. That was absolutely vicious. And that shows you the powerful play of utility. Utility, especially late game now, let's talk just a moment before we close this one down.
Yeah.
Tell me how strong the smoke is now since 1.0.
So the smoke
Late
now,
game.
I mean, it doesn't matter what stage of the game is. The old smoke, if you threw it, it would do nothing. If you smoke now and there's a guy 500 meters away shooting at you, if you're in the smoke, you won't see him.
Yeah.
Even at distances, the smokes are great. So if your teammate gets shot, and let's say it's a mirror match a long way away, you have time to pop a smoke, and you can revive your teammate in the smoke and get away. So late
Use
game,
them.
extremely powerful. Mid-late game, they're actually still really useful.
Especially on Miramar mid to late game.
I mean,
Even mid game, even
I
early game.
just remember the old smokes. They didn't work at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying these smokes, they work really, really well. And to move, they're great. But to pick up fallen teammates, they're even better. And it doesn't really matter the range between you and the enemy.
Yeah.
If you have time to pop a smoke and let it
Do
bloom,
it.
you can save a teammate with just one smoke grenade.
There you go.
Carry a smoke, save a teammate.
Smoking saves lives.
Yeah.
Instead of smoking kills. There you go. That's the golden nugget coming out to you from Larson. And before we go to a break, let's have a look at the closer of the game, Pokemon Molodite. The only one actually getting knocked out from fours, whilst Shade finishes things off in a beautiful manner. Congratulations, Grubby. Quite impressive. Both myself and Larson, when we're talking about this, we're quite impressed on how these guys are playing. And we can't wait to see what match number 4 will bring. So stick around, guys. The fourth one is coming up in just a few minutes.